Connect for 2012. I'm with Dennis Harrison and GS1, and we're going to talk about food service and the processes, the initiatives behind getting the barcodes on the product, right? And
Very
all
good.
All the easy stuff and the hard stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, Scott, let me tell you first of all what the initiative is all about.
Right.
The initiative is the food service community came to us and they said that there's 3 things that they would like to achieve by 2015. The first item was to improve the efficiency in the food service supply chain. Right. Second item is to increase the amount of information. We call it product attributes. What about the product does the consumer want to know? Things like nutritional values and allergens. And then the third item that they've asked us to help with is to improve food safety and make sure that we're setting up systems for traceability.
Right.
So we've been working at this now since 2009. So we're going on our 3rd year. We've been very successful in getting the community to implement some of the standards. We're now running at about 55% of the manufacturing community that's adopted GS1 standards, and we're reaching towards a goal that was set back in 2009 of trying to get 75% of the community applying using the standards.
By 2015?
By 2015.
Now, is that a regulatory mandate, or is that an internal?
No, this is an industry desire.
Okay.
So industry working together, saying this is what we need to do to help the industry, okay, make the industry more efficient and make it a better product for the consumers.
Okay. But there is also, what is it, FSMA?
FSMA is the Food Safety Modernization Act. The Food Safety Modernization Act is an activity by FDA,
right,
and FDA is looking at mandating traceability requirements, right, through FSMA.
So this is in sync with
it's in sync with it, but it's not the initiative was not driven by that.
Okay.
But everything that we're doing in the initiative, we want to make sure that we can support the FSMA.
So eventually, the initiative will basically enable the automation of
absolutely. And let me tell you how it does that.
Okay.
There are actually 3 standards that we use in GS1 for food service. One is we call it G10, Global Trade Item Number. It's identifying products with a unique number. We have what's called a global location number, mm-hmm, and it's identifying locations with a unique number. And then we have what's called Global Data Synchronization Network, which the easiest way to think about that is it's a database that we can take the items that we've identified, mm-hmm, all those products with unique numbers, and tell you exactly what the item is. So we list all of the we call it attributes, all of the, right, characteristics of the product, the weights, sure, the dimensions, and nutritional allergens, etc. Now, taking those elements, we can now begin to put together traceability systems. We can begin to meet the government requirements. We know what the product is, we know where it was shipped, and we know exactly all the attributes about the product.
Okay.
And so this will help us with the FSMA.
Okay, all right, great. And so we also kind of started to talk about some of the challenges in the acceptance, and you already said you've got a pretty good acceptance rate, yeah, among those people that are already on board with GS1.
Yes.
Right?
The challenges that we run into, it's kind of interesting. I mean, when you start doing this, first of all, you have to change processes, you have to change systems, right, and change is always tough.
Right.
But one of the things that's as more and more demand for information occurs, it makes it more difficult for manufacturers who have to supply that information to get the information. Sure. Let me give you an example. If you go into the grocery store, you buy a can of soda. It has a UPC code. That is a G10 on the product. It tells you that it's a can of soda. It tells you whose can of soda it is. If we want to now understand the production date or the lot number or the serial number that was associated with that can of soda, easy to do. You can capture that information.
Right.
However, putting that information on the product is difficult for the manufacturer. Now the manufacturer has to understand when the lots change, has to change the labeling when the lots change. So there are things that the manufacturer now has to do that maybe they didn't do before. So there's expense and there's difficulties in making that happen. But the consumers are demanding this information more and more. If we can get the information on the product, it'll help us with traceability. It helps us in the entire system. So it's something that eventually I think you're going to see it being required. We're going to have to adjust and start
right. I mean, you see people walking around with their smartphones, right, and expecting. I mean, you go into a retail store of any kind, and they're looking at hard good products that and they expect to see not only the description of it, but who said what about it, and where else can I get it cheaper.
Yep.
And I think that happens in boxed food, right?
Exactly.
Probably doesn't happen that much in fresh food. But I guess that's kind of the goal as to the consumer end.
Well, consumers, even when consumers are going to restaurants today, they want to know, does it contain gluten?
Oh, right.
Does it contain peanuts?
Sure.
You're starting to get people asking with fish, and some restaurants are saying, where did the fish come from?
Right.
Which ocean? Which part of the ocean? Who caught the fish?
Right.
And so
did he wash his hands first?
Yeah. So you have a lot of desire now to know a lot of things, and again, it takes effort to gather the information, but this is what the consumer wants. This helps a selling product, and it's not going away.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Well, good luck with putting the final pieces together.
Thanks, guys.